What's up, guys? This is Matt Dollar, and I'm back with the conclusion of round 3 from the Ham and the Hog Classic. When we left off, we were through 9 holes, and we had myself and Dustin Perry tied for the lead at 22 under, with Cody at 20 under and Isaac at 19 under. So, Dustin and Isaac made a move on the front 9, shooting 6 under and 3 under, while Cody and myself both struggled and only shot 1 under. So we'll move into hole number 10. Hole 10 is the only par 5 at Little Mulberry. It's also the only open hole at Little Mulberry. And today it is in the back right position, which is a little more accessible than the back left position. It's probably a little bit further, but it's probably a little bit easier to get to. But there is a hump of just like, I guess, a natural hump of dirt and whatever. Just short of the basket, and it kind of creates this little ridge, and you really want to get past it when you're making your approach, or else you have, a little bit of a long putt. So that's about the only thing that's harder about this side of the green, or this green, as opposed to the other par 5 position that we saw in rounds 1 and 2. So Dustin and Isaac both throw pretty big shots there. Cody goes with the roller. I'm also going to go with the roller, but I saw Cody's get pushed out by the wind, so I went with the ballista, snowline ballista, instead of the hatchet. Got some good distance on this one. So that's the best drive I had on this one all weekend. If I would have got that disc to flip just a hair sooner, that would have went a really long way. So this is Isaac's second shot. And he pounded that one. Finishes just left of the camera view. So it's going to be Cody now. I believe this hole comes in around 7 or 800 feet. I think it's 800 feet. I would say Cody is a little more than 400 feet away from the basket. Maybe 450 at most. Looks like he turns it over a little bit. Oh, but it comes out of those trees, fights through. He should be able to get up and down for a birdie from there. So there's Dustin testing the wind. It's a pretty good way to get a wind read. And as you could tell, it was just a tailwind at this point. Dustin is definitely trying to go to the basket on this shot. So there's the basket on the right-hand side of the screen. Dustin turns this over a little bit. Now there is a lot of trees in there, so you would think it would stop, but he actually got through a little ways. And there's a drop-off, probably about 40 or 50 feet behind the basket. And it actually continues to go downhill there for another, I don't know, maybe 100 feet before it gets to a walking path, which is out of bounds, but I've never seen anyone make it there. But Dustin's shot had enough air to where I thought it might get down there, but it did hit a tree eventually. So I've ended up on the left side of the fairway. I remember thinking this is just a really weird spot. I didn't know what to throw. There was a little bit of wind. I have the felon in my hand there, but I know it will hyzer too soon for me to park it. So at the last minute, I decided to switch to a defender and just turned it over a little bit. I remember thinking I stepped a little funny because it's pretty rough off the fairway where I was over there. Like the ground is rough, so anyway, I was lucky enough to kick back out. So me and Cody both went into that right side and kicked out to the fairway. Here's Isaac. He's over there near the other position. He's actually right in between the two. He actually hit a tree before he got over to the basket, so he'll still have a putt for his birdie. I take the judge and just try to get it over the hill, or the hump, but I ended up landing on it. But on it is fine. You really just don't want to be short of it. So now we're looking at Dustin. He's way down in there. He's having to walk up here just to have a peek at the basket. Hard to tell exactly how far he is, but I think he is around 50 feet, maybe 60 feet. He's looking at a forehand roller. Wow, that was a weird bounce off that. I don't think it was a tree. It was more like a vine or something like that. Or maybe it was just a branch hanging across. That took a really weird hit off of that. So Dustin, after having the best drive of the group, is going to have to settle for a par here after overthrowing his second shot. Cody still got a putt for birdie. Cody knocks it in there. Good putt from Cody. So Dustin really let one slip here. You know, he threw the best drive, and then he threw the best line on a second shot, but he just threw it too hard and somehow didn't hit any of those trees. So while in position to get an eagle, he actually ended up taking the only par of the group here if Isaac makes this putt. And he does, so we have 3 birdies and a par. We move on to hole 11. Hole 11's a shorty. It's probably about 270.
Perfect, good shot.
It's basically the exact same distance as it was yesterday when it was up on that little mound to the left. But now it's off to the right side of this fairway. I go with a thumber with my felon.
There you go. Yeah.
And nope, not that tree. No, it skipped right up near the basket, I believe. Maybe a little short. Tough to get an angle on the basket here for Scott, our cameraman.
Ching.
Oh, Dustin cures
goodness.
it. Catches a
That
late
type of
tree. Keeps him from the possible ching, as you heard me say there. Isaac goes straight down the fairway. So everyone threw a good drive. Looks like Isaac will be first to putt.
Nice.
Won't be a problem for Isaac. Just taps it in there. Looking like we got a good shot at getting the star frame here. Be our second star frame of the round. We also got one on the front 9 on hole number 3. My thumber came in just a hair short, but good enough to get the job done. And we all card birdies on hole number 11. Hole 12 is, well, I guess the first blind hyzer hole on the back 9. There's 2 blind hyzers on the front 9, 2 blind hyzers on the back 9. This one is way downhill. That was an awesome shot by Cody. So in the first 2 rounds, it was in the shorter position, but now today it's all the way at the bottom of the hill. And it's really hard to get one all the way down there. There's like the intended route, and there's also an inside route, and I guess the best way to get down to this long pin is to take the inside route. That's what Cody did. I tried to go the outside route and caught a tree on the corner. I made the gap I was trying to, but if you take it tight to that tree, there's always another one right behind it. Whereas if you take it wide and play it against the far tree line, you usually hit a tree like Dustin did right there. So I'm thinking maybe the inside route is the play for this long pin. Isaac also goes inside route and throws a very nice shot. The problem with the inside route is if you do hit one of those trees and kick left, you're in this giant ditch. So I just put one down there with my judge and look to take my par. And Dustin's going to have to do the same thing. Isaac's got a really long putt. Downhill. Oh, great bid from Isaac. So Cody's the last one with a chance at birdie here. Getting a little creative camera work from Scott Renz, our cameraman. This was Scott's first attempt at filming disc golf. Cody's not able to make it, so it looks like we're all going to get pars here on hole number 12. That'll take us to hole 13. Hole 13 is, I think, in the second shortest, maybe the shortest hole in the course. And it's moved into the left position. Although it's not that far left. That's bad news for Cody, because this hole has a steep slope going down to the left, and there is no shortage of trees on that hillside. So that'll be a tough one to save par. I'm going to go hyzer line with the soft Cenis.
That'll work.
Was able to play it perfectly. Well, I don't know if you can call it perfect. I was actually trying to go a little bit lower than that, under the crooked tree, but I think I went over it. Regardless, it gets a good result. This position's a little weird. I used to just throw something on the left side, but that is the tightest line for sure. There's that one tree that you can see kind of sitting in the middle of that fairway. So it makes it a little risky to go the left side. If you go the right side, you're probably not going to get kicked all the way down the hill on the left. So I've also messed with a thumber, throwing a thumber straight up and down on the right side and letting it pan back to the left. But I just saw the hyzer route and figured that was the safest play. Isaac throws it exactly how you're supposed to, although he does catch a little bit of a skip, and now he'll have a long putt. So Cody whacked a tree on his upshot, and he's got a long putt here just to save par. Oh, nice putt from Cody. Great job. Wow. Isaac was back in that stuff, and he just tossed it right in, no fear. Great putt from Cody, followed by a great putt from Isaac. Isaac will get the 2, so will Dustin and myself, and Cody will take the 3. And we'll move on to hole 14, where Scott's trying something a little unique here. He's actually using the monopod to hold the camera up higher for a chance to possibly see the basket. I just said there's no way you could catch an ace on this video, on this hole. I pure it with my judge. Listen for it. Oh, right off the top of the basket.
Our team.
Wow.
It didn't hit the bogey band square. It kind of landed on top of the bogey band because it was kind of floating down, and it bounced off of it and then landed on an edge and then rolled down the hill and took a left. It didn't get too terribly far away, but I was really hoping to catch that ace. But if I did hit the ace, I'd have been disappointed we didn't catch it on film. But there's just no good way to video this hole if you want to see people throw the tee shot and see the basket. I like Scott's idea with the monopod, but you got to get a little higher. Isaac throws a putter up the right side. Looks like he threw it pretty darn good. And Cody will be bringing up the rear. Beautiful looking drive from Cody.
Good looking shot.
Thank you.
Just a hair further right. That would have had a chance to go in the basket. So everyone threw pretty good drives on this hole. We've got Dustin. He's a little short left, but he's putting. Clanks off the top of the basket and catches a roll. I believe this is, I don't know if it's Dustin or Cody. It's going to be Dustin with a great putt to save par after catching that roll off the bogey band. Back-to-back holes, we've seen someone throw in a great putt just to save par. Cody's so close. He kind of bounces it off the rim, touches little chains, but doesn't stick. I have a pretty clean putt. There's only one tree slightly blocking it, kind of making me have to hyzer a little bit. Should be pretty routine, but just pulled that one and barely caught a chain at all. Isaac will tap in the only birdie on the hole.
He's not getting a birdie. It's crazy.
And then I'll take us to hole number 15. Got a little caught up in the change there. So hole 15 is the only hole that didn't change on the back 9. That was... It looked like me throwing a thumber there. I guess we potentially missed Isaac's drive because I believe he would have been teeing off first. Oh yeah, actually Isaac, he threw before they were clear, but didn't know. It is a par 4, so they were around the corner there. But Isaac smashed one up there. They said it was going to go in the ditch, but it hit someone in the foot and then hit somebody else's bag right as John Matlack was throwing his upshot, which was a sidearm Firebird. And he pulled the upshot and it bounced off a tree and went into the basket for an eagle. So, go figure. Lots of entertainment value there. So Dustin's stuck pretty far back here. He's going to try to throw a flex forehand. Oh, that was just a great shot from Dustin. He catches a little bit of a root, or else he might have got all the way up to the basket. So I'm trying to decide if I can throw a thumber on kind of a sidearm angle and have it skip far enough back. But I think the angle that I have is going to force me into throwing a forehand. So I'm going to go with a felon. Pretty good upshot. Caught a little bit of a root also. But it'll get between it'll get between the basket and Dustin's disc.
Oh, hit the tree and go in.
Here's Cody throwing a backhand up a skinny line. That was a great shot. That would have been a good spot to have a thumber. And Isaac's right in the middle of the fairway after striking the group in front of us, so he'll just toss a putter right up to the basket for an easy birdie.
Oh, it's a little bit quick.
Dustin's just outside the circle here, putting uphill. Man, that looked like it was in the entire way. You always got to aim a little extra high when you're putting uphill. Cody's able to put his birdie in there. And so am I. So it looks like Dustin will be the only one not carding a birdie. Then we're going to move on to hole number 16, which is about 350 feet uphill. And yesterday it was in the right position. Today it is dead straight ahead.
I'll be 33 this year.
This position is actually a little tougher, I think, because there are actually 3 big pine trees dead in the middle of the fairway you want to throw up there.
Looky!
So you either gotta go just to the right of those trees or just to the left.
Look at this guy!
Left,
It must be in the middle of his pool.
I'm going to go with the hatchet. I've actually never thrown the hatchet at this pin placement before, but it was working so good yesterday throwing it really soft that I decided just to throw one really soft.
Nice.
Just go with my super flippy, super glidey driver. Worked out really well. Cody misses a little left and kicks left, but he gets another tree to keep him from going too far in the woods. Dustin takes his pink driver out and just fillets that gap. Mine and Dustin's shots are probably the 2 best shots I've ever seen on this pin position. Because both of them were perfect up the left side, and we're slowly turning left to right to keep it from skipping away from the basket. So I was right under the basket. I was actually about 5 feet short. And what's hilarious is that I was the second furthest out in the group, being 5 feet on that hole, because Isaac parked it too. In fact, Isaac's park job is one of the craziest things I've ever seen, because they were talking about, someone was asking me how old I was, and I said I'll be 33 this year. And Isaac's on the tee pad, and he goes, "Oh, I thought you were older than that." I'm like, "Thanks, kid." But I said, "That's probably the mustache speaking." And he's holding the disc, standing on the tee, and he just starts in his run-up and said, "Yeah, that's probably true," right as he releases the disc, and he absolutely parked it. Like, nothing shakes this kid. So So we got a little bonus footage of the second card throwing their drives on hole 17. Hole 17's moved out into the field, which is better pin placement, just for the fact that you have a better line to throw out of. Isaac threw the backhand route the left side. You very rarely see that, and that was a beautiful shot. I just went with a sidearm with a spark. I thought if I put it on enough angle, it should work its way right out there. And I just had a little too much angle on it, so I actually caught the tree on the very corner of the wood line and kicked left further into the woods. So
Clean them.
Oh! Dustin throws the backhand up that same route as Isaac, turns it over a little bit but goes through the trees. He'll have himself a putt at birdie also. That's crazy to see three people go up that left side with backhands. Generally, you'll see the righty backhands still go down that right side and just hope to miss all the trees. But these guys are good, what can you say? So I'm really stuck in the edge of the jungle here, and I remember I just kind of have to throw through some stuff. Through my judge, and actually worked out perfectly, landed it right by the basket. So everyone else is putting for their birdie. I'll be dropping in my par.
Good putt.
Great putt from Cody. Dustin went a little bit down to the right, which is surprising. I think his disc actually skipped, even though it was a backhand coming in with a little bit of anhyzer. Looks like we might be catching just a little bit of rain right now. Oh, great putt from Isaac. No problem at all. So we move on to hole 18, last hole of the third round, and it's in the left position today. Isaac pulls it just a little bit, but somehow scoots through that tight right side. This is a very guarded green. Most good players seem to throw like a little bit of a hyzer flip. They'll throw something flippy with hyzer so that it slowly stands up moving left. Cody pulls his little right also, but he also finds a way through. I'm going to go with my first run beat up mace and throw it right up there to the left side of the green. And Dustin's going to take that same route. He comes up a little shorter. So it looks like Cody went way through. He's in the back here. Cody lines this one up. Beautiful line. Pops it in there. I'm able to card my birdie here on number 18. That'll finish me out at a 53, which is 7 under par. Isaac will tap out for his 50, which is 10 under par. And Dustin has to make his comebacker for his 52, which is 8 under par. And lastly, we got Cody Britton, who shot a 57, which is 3 under. So moving into the final 9, I have the lead at 28 under par, 2 ahead of Isaac and 4 ahead of Dustin. So when you join us back, it will be our normal camera person, Carla Seward, filming for the final 9. And I'd like to thank Scott Renz for filming that round. And of course, Latitude 64 for their support. Thanks for watching.